So I'm often asked on this channel what my personal style is for my home. And while most of us are chasing a home that feels cozy and peaceful and warm and inviting, often it is clutter that I find time and time again stops us from getting to that goal. Today, we're going to dive into several ideas and rules that I use for my own home when I am decorating, but they're things that I've come up with over years of trying and failing and trying again. Decorating your home to your own personal taste is not something that comes easily to everybody, including myself. In a very cluttered environment, it is hard for us to decide what our style is, even when we see it online and we see it in other people's homes. We don't know how to take that idea and put it in our own home. I have paid very close attention to the color palette in my home, and there are several reasons why. But when I first really started having a home to decorate in general, my husband and I had a little bungalow near the city of Richmond, and we absolutely loved it. But I brought in a lot of very strong colors, whether it was bright yellows or bright aqua blues. I thought that having loud colors meant that I would be excited and happy to be at home. What I found was, personally for myself, that it was too overwhelming. The colors didn't actually go together very well. And so it made my home feel not cohesive, not inviting to be in. And so when I was really starting to pay attention to my color palette, I realized that I wanted colors that reminded me of being outside, but also I wanted colors that felt peaceful when I looked at them. So a great thing to try is to go to your local department store and to look through the different color palettes they have. I know in our Home Depot, they have several different colors on one card, and you can really pay attention to what is your visceral body reaction to that color. When I got loud yellows, my reaction, yes, would be, wow, exciting. This is so happy. But was that the color that I really wanted? Was that the feeling I really wanted when I walked into my living room? No, it wasn't. And so that's definitely going to be different for everyone, but finding some colors that go together on that color palette and then deciding this room, what feeling do I want it to have? In my dining room, I wanted it to feel cozy and warm and kind of draw you in there. So I picked a dark blue, which I very much feel does that. It draws you into the dining room, but also gives you a sense of calm and peace at the same time. So the next most important thing to pay attention to after color is lighting. When you walk into a room, the lighting immediately gives you a feeling. When I walked into my living room, I love that it has this big, bright, open window. But for years, I had heavy, dark, opaque curtains that you couldn't see through. And so it was blocking a lot of that natural light. Also in this room, it had no overhead lighting. So in the evening, it was so dark and oppressive that often we didn't want to even be in this room. So my husband actually put in pot lights in the ceiling, and those were awesome and actually very cheap on Amazon, have worked really well over the past couple of years. But the biggest change I've noticed was the curtain choice. While I'm not somebody who loves blinds just because I don't like to clean them, and I didn't want to have to get really big pull down fabric blinds, I chose curtains that were sheer. Now, this is not going to work for everyone because it depends on where you live, but the curtains that I chose, I realized during the day, it brings in so much light that this is now my favorite room to be in. So if you are walking into a room and you're noticing that it's very dark, that you don't really want to be in there, then that is a thing to really pay attention to. Maybe your curtains are too heavy, or maybe you can't move your curtains out of the way so the window is still blocked, or maybe you just need to add some more overhead lighting. This next one I find to be most important, at least in my home, where I often bought furniture that was large and heavy and dark. I realized that having those oversized pieces of furniture were the opposite of what I was trying to go for in my home, which is peaceful, light, and airy. And so recently we got rid of a very heavy, almost couldn't get it out of the house, oversized brown leather couch. And it was so dark and oppressive and very difficult to clean. What we did end up getting is a beautiful genuine leather couch from 25 Home. They had reached out to me, but I was so ecstatic to be able to pick out a piece that really was going to fit the space in our den. As a family of 3 with 2 dogs, we wanted a couch that was big enough for all of us and some friends to sit on, but at the same time to be very comfortable for our favorite movie nights. So what we found with the couch from 25 Home is that it is genuine leather. It's full of foam and feathers, so it's incredibly soft. It comes with a latch on the bottom, which just makes it so easy to separate. And so my husband and I aren't dragging it up the stairs, almost killing each other and scratching my walls. And the sectional we got comes in 2 pieces. We got a smaller one, but you can also add more pieces, so you can build the sectional out as you have more space or less. I also love that this piece in particular is higher up off the ground. You guys know I love to have a piece of furniture that is easy to clean, so I can easily vacuum under it. And the leather is waterproof, so it is easy for me to just wipe down with a little soap and rag if we happen to have some spills. I can genuinely say that I'm very happy with our choice, and it did take us years. We've been thinking about this for about 3 years to get a new couch, and finally we have settled on one that both suits my needs and my family's. As somebody who for years made bad decisions about buying big pieces of furniture that I couldn't move, that were oversized, that were hard to clean, this decision to buy this couch after years of looking has been such a blessing for our family. We have already had several movie nights where we've been able to enjoy the couch, even with my big dog Blue on it with us. And the key thing that I want you to walk away with when you are looking at your furniture is it able to be able to be changed throughout the different seasons of your life? Like I said, this one has a latch, and so you can easily take it apart. You can add more pieces in to create a larger sofa, or you can easily just undo the latch and make it smaller for those times that you're downsizing. So if you are also in need of a new couch and you are looking for a company that has high quality products and are going to be honest and helpful, then try 25 Home. I am going to throw an 8% discount down below in the description so that you can get a little extra off of that next beautiful piece for your home. So while we do want to pay really close attention when we're picking furniture and decor to the quality and the colors, I want you to also practice restraint. Now, like I said, I took years picking out this new couch because I really wanted to stop making the same mistakes over and over again and buying those pieces that just didn't work for our home. I wanted to pick a piece of furniture that was going to fit in for a long time, but that requires restraint. When it comes to our homes, I feel like often we go to Home Goods and all of the beautiful decor stores, and it's really hard to have restraint. But when you look at a place maybe you're trying to decorate, use a couple of these rules. I want you to only put 3 or less items in a given area, whether it's a shelf or a wall. And often what I have found is that when you have big walls, having one larger piece, whether it's a beautiful piece of artwork done by somebody locally, that's always my favorite, or just a beautiful big piece of artwork that fits in with the colors in the room. It makes the room feel more put together, but it also makes it feel a little more elevated. Now, this is obviously just my opinion, but the rule of restraint often works in more than just decor. When you look in your wardrobe, when it's full to the brim of clothes, often it's hard to find anything to wear. But when you have that restraint and you pull back and you take a few things away, it's so much easier to find your favorite pieces. I want you to look around the room that you're in right now as you're listening to this video, and I want you to make a few observations about that room. Is it a place that feels calm, peaceful, and elevated and light? Or when you look at the room objectively, does it just feel like there's too much going on? Blank space is a beautiful thing, which leads me to the next thing. If you are on a journey as well, working on decluttering and minimizing your home, then please subscribe to this channel right here. And also, if you are already decluttering here with us and you're a part of this community, throw a heart emoji down below. It just lets us know that we're all in this together. Ask yourself, does my room feel too heavy? And that comes from years and years of me not knowing what my style was or how to decorate my home and buying too many things when I finally started asking myself that very important question: does my home feel too heavy? It helped me to look at my things in a different light. When we have too many things in our home, often that clutter is anxiety inducing and causes us to either have to just clean a lot more, or it creates a list in our head of things that we should be doing and should be cleaning, but we just don't have the time or energy to do it. Creating a home that feels warm and cozy and peaceful and inviting requires you to use all of these ideas, whether it's picking the right pieces of furniture, the colors, having nice lighting, and having restraint in order for it not to feel heavy. It reminds me of a story of when I bought a huge white hutch and put it in our kitchen. Now, we have a 1960s home and it is older and smaller, and the rooms are more separated. We don't have the large open concept. So having this very large piece of furniture, even when I painted it white, still felt overwhelming. And it took me several years of not really liking it to finally get rid of it. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with it. And I bet you have a few pieces like that in your home as well. As we are decluttering, those big pieces that make the room feel heavy are hard to get rid of. For me, it was either guilt that I had kept it for so long, guilt for bringing it in my house and it was hard and heavy to get in, guilt for all the time I wasted painting it and cleaning it, and guilt for the money I was going to lose. But staying in those feelings are not going to get you where you need to go. It felt so good when I finally sold that piece and got rid of it and let it go. And now the room feels so much lighter. We actually have changed up our kitchen a little bit and are using this piece of furniture that we had our microwave on top of for a long time. We're using it as a little breakfast nook. And that never would have been possible when I hung on to that big piece of furniture I wasn't really using. So there are so many great ideas out there when it comes to being able to style your home in a way that feels good to you. But what I will say is one of the best things you can do is have a few blank spaces. And I love repeating this because it's in hearing this over and over again that I finally had it sink in. Blank spaces are not only just good for your cognitive well-being, they reduce the stress on your brain, but they also promote calm and they promote creativity. They allow us space, not only outside, but inside, to really evaluate what we're doing with our lives. Maybe we need a life change, but if you don't have any blank spaces in your home and you don't have any place that you can feel calm in your home, you are automatically adding more anxiety and you are automatically adding more stress to yourself that you don't deserve to have. Nobody deserves to feel that kind of stress. So if you want to have improved decision making, which I think most of us do, right? We don't want a clouded brain. Then I guarantee you trying to reduce the things in your home, decluttering the things that don't matter, and then really starting to process through the last several ideas I gave you on how you can change up the style in your home and the feeling in your home is going to help you in the long run to have that peaceful, calm environment that you are looking for. If I can do it, anybody can. As somebody who is a admitted shopaholic, and I had a very hard time for many, many years finding the design and style I liked for my own home. It is possible if you really start to sit back and think and redesign the way that you think about your things. All right, friends, if you enjoyed this video, then please click on one of these videos right here and continue learning and growing. And I wish you guys all the best.